Yo, what it do? What's up, man? It's your boy G Swag back again with another video. As we are doing a football type of thing, man, we're gonna see which 10 teams will not make the playoffs that have definitely no chance. I'm saying no chance at all. I'm just reacting to it. I can give you my list, but I'm gonna try to guess these teams that people said they don't have no chance at all. Like the Buccaneers, the Falcons. I know they probably have my Commanders or our Commanders. Where my Commander fans at, man? Left hand up. Who are we? Left hand up, okay? Saying we probably don't have a chance, even though I feel like we do, man. But and I know everybody hating on our team. Let's see what else. Well, maybe the Packers. They probably say the Packers have no chance. The Broncos, maybe, but one of those teams is not gonna make it. I'm gonna either say like the Broncos or the Raiders. We're gonna see the teams, okay? I can't even think of 10 teams fully atop of my head that's basically have like no chance of winning the division or getting a wild card. I feel like every team has an opening out here, but let's see the 10 teams that they said not gonna make the playoffs. Like that's thing pretty tough.
The writing's on the wall for a lot of these teams.
That seems about right. So I got 2 wins for the Arizona Cardinals, but the first pick in the draft.
We're going to make it that much easier here by explaining why these 10 teams have zero shot at qualifying for the 2023/24 NFL postseason. The Arizona Cardinals. Newsflash, the Cardinals are a lot worse this year than they were in 2022. I mean, think about it. The 2022 squad had QB Kyler Murray for 11 games and Pro Bowl wideout DeAndre Hopkins for 9 games. The roster also featured J.J. Watt, Byron Murphy, and Zach Allen on defense, and another former Pro Bowl receiver in A.J. Green on offense. Well, only Murray remains. And the number 1 pick of the 2019 NFL Draft is going to miss significant time in 2023 recovering from surgery on his torn ACL. And sorry, but Colt McCoy is not saving the day. Not even sure Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, or Josh Allen could do a whole lot with this roster right now. Look, you can't blame GM Monty Ossenfort for opting to stockpile additional selections rather than draft players who could help them win right now here in 2023. The Cardinals are a long ways away from contending after all. Arizona is the overwhelming frontrunner to win the first overall pick next year. That much is good news for the long-suffering fans. Green Bay.
So I'm just saying, like, Kyler Murray is gone. That's what y'all basically saying in this. Like, the first number 1 overall pick, you choosing a quarterback. And I'm like, if Kyler Murray can't deliver, paying him all that much money, you might as well just get rid of him if he can't try to get you to the playoffs. Even though I feel bad for Kyler Murray. That was a legit reason that they have no shot, and that that's a good one.
Hey Packers. Just think logically here for a minute. The Packers finished 8-9 a season ago with a 4-time MVP and Aaron Rodgers leading the offense. And now they're going from Rodgers to unproven 2020 first rounder Jordan Love. We're not saying that Love will go down as a bust in Green Bay, but it is hard to envision him succeeding right off the bat. Green Bay watched top wideout Allen Lazard walk to free agency where he joined the New York Jets. They didn't add any notable names in free agency, and GM Brian Gutekunst had a questionable draft that saw Green Bay add 0 players who will likely make much of an impact here in 2020.
Alright, looking at all this, the draft and receiver, like they had all these picks. And they did a little bit of both offense, defense, but I feel like the Packers defense, man, I'm never counting out Jair. He'll do his thing, man. Jordan Love been in the system for 3 years. Man, this is probably be a sleeper team out here. Oh, then we got a Charlotte boy out here, man. Grant the Bows. Man, representing Charlotte and the city of Charlotte nicely. I'm rooting for you. Go ahead and show out. But, yeah, man, like, it might be a breath of fresh air. They might be playing harder, faster. I know, like, the receivers, they only going to get better because, like, this is, like, their first year. Like, Devontae Adams left, so they had to try to step up, and Aaron Rodgers was getting on them stuff. But I feel like, Jordan Love can, like, smooth right in, and, like, they can grow together. And plus, I'm just saying, the division is still weak. You have the Vikings probably going to, like, take over the division. They might go hot. But I'm like, man, Kirk Cousins, me as a Commanders fan, he always choke. And after one good year, he follows up with a bad year. He's up and down. So I wouldn't say like 0 chance at all. Maybe 2%.
The Packers' only real strength is their two-headed monster at running back in Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. But realistically, how much can these two move the needle, especially now that defenses no longer have to account for Aaron Rodgers? Like last year, Green Bay is merely the third best team in the NFC North. With questions on defense, at wideout, and especially at the game's most important position, we would be shocked if they somehow repeated last year's 8-win season, let alone make the playoffs. Los Angeles Rams. Part of us wants to think that a Sean McVay coach team could easily rebound from a disastrous Super Bowl defense and return to their usual form in 2023. But, it's awfully difficult to see. Even if Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald all stay healthy after all missing considerable time in 2022, where's the rest of the production coming from? The cap-strapped Rams let go of 2 All-Pros in cornerback Jalen Ramsey, traded to Miami, and linebacker Bobby Wagner, who was released before rejoining the Seattle Seahawks. The Rams still don't have a capable WR2 to complement Kupp. They don't have a clear-cut answer at running back. Rookie Steve Avila, taken in round 2, is the only notable addition to what was one of football's worst offensive lines a year ago. Stafford, entering his age 35 season, has his work cut out for him. And who knows how he'll perform coming back from a season-ending back injury. Did we mention that the Rams play in the same division as the Seattle Seahawks?
Yep. That's where I feel like that's the tough one. That was going to hurt the Rams the most. Like playing 2 games against the 49ers. I know the Seahawks are probably 1-1 against them. Cardinals, Kyler Murray got to push for it, but still, it make it tough for them. And yeah, like it feel like a dumpster fire has happened. Like it feel like it's like the Warriors, like the Warriors deteriorating. Like they are breaking down. Like everybody's leaving, and then like I don't think everybody got the same motivation. Like Aaron Donald was talking about like retiring when he won the Super Bowl. Do he have the same motivation? Do Matthew Stafford have that chip on his shoulder anymore? I'm pretty sure that they feel like a made man. And yeah, who said Cooper Kupp can create the same production with his torn ACL that he did? But like I still believe he's gonna do good, but I don't think he'll be that wide receiver threat that we seen for 2 or 3 years. But he'll be solid still.
Hawks and the San Francisco 49ers, and that they have the 9th hardest strength of schedule for 2023? Look, add it all up, and the Rams are destined to miss the playoffs in back-to-back years since 2015 and 2016, the last 2 seasons of the forgettable Jeff Fisher era. Washington Commanders. The Commanders...
And I knew that was coming. I just knew it. The NFC East, yeah, they're going to say that we are good now. I still see them as the same NFC East team. Like, Eagles had an easy schedule, and I know they're good now. They good. I kind of qualify them. They scare me a little bit. Cowboys don't really scare me at all. I know they're acting the way it happened. They somehow just get dubs. People fall for the excitement, but once you play a real team, that's when you get put back into the ground, Cowboy fans. I'm just going to say that. Yeah, well, like we was 8-1, and I just feel like we can get. Well, I did a season prediction that I'll put the link in the description. I put it on my second channel because y'all didn't watch it. Y'all did not watch it. So yeah, I feel like we can go 12-5 at best. But yeah, I feel like we still can get 10 wins. Like we got a good defense, and somehow we're gonna have potential with Eric Bieniemy offense. Okay. I feel like he'll scheme stuff up, and yeah, we'll find a way to get more dubs than just 8.
Finished 8-1 a year ago and just missed out on a playoff berth. Quite impressive, considering that each of their 3 NFC East rivals finished above 500 and all qualified for the postseason. But it is hard to envision Washington flirting with a 500 record and a playoff appearance again, given their QB situation. No, Taylor Heineke was not.
Don't hate on Sam Howell. Don't hate on Sam Howell. And I know Taylor Heineke did his name up Carson Wentz. Like, why would we start Carson Wentz and had him drown us to the ground? Like, bro, he only did us 1 win. Well, maybe I said 2 because he won the Jaguars, kind of choked in, and like that second win, I'm like, we played garbage. The defense locked up. Winning game 12-7, like that should not be earned.
To the long-term option at QB, but he did enough to at least give his club a chance. Now the Commanders are asking either 2022 fifth-rounder Sam Howell or journeyman Jacoby Brissett to save the day behind center.
Not gonna happen! No, not gonna happen!
Washington is the 8th.
All right, clip this. Clip it.
Toughest strength of schedule for
Watch the Commanders,
2023. Having to play the Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, and New York Giants twice apiece is just unfair for a team with Howell and Brissett atop their QB depth chart. Making matters even worse? Well, check out the Commanders' schedule. Their toughest games are all spread out, giving Ron Rivera's squad very little chance of finding breathing room and jumping ahead early. Yes, the Commanders had a top 5 defense in 2022, and they own a solid set of weapons in Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel, Brian Robinson, and Antonio Gibson. But you cannot realistically expect them to be a playoff contender with arguably football's worst quarterback depth chart. Commanders fans should be happy if their team wins 7 games in 2023. The playoffs are simply not gonna happen.
Clip it. Clip this.
Houston Texans. Make no mistake,
yeah.
the Texans are on the right track
Houston.
again with a franchise QB named CJ Stroud now in place. Trading up for Will Anderson Jr. at number 30 overall was another tidy order of business, giving this organization its first cornerstone piece on D since J.J. Watt. And we loved the hiring of D'Amico Ryans as head coach. His defensive genius, passion, and energy will be a breath of fresh air for a team that had 4 head coaches over its previous 3 years. But let's be real, Houston isn't anywhere close to contending in the stacked.
And then I have to say, like, for Houston, I need for y'all to be committed to y'all coaches. Like, what do y'all expect when they having a trash roster? Like, you had, like, the last coach had David Mills as quarterback, which I already forgot about that coach name already. Sad. Like, I remembered it at the time, but I'm like, yeah, you disrespected him having David Mills as the quarterback, and I'm like, y'all didn't have a good year last year or the year before that. So don't act like he done worse. Like, it's just like y'all just not good, and y'all just gotta accept the fact that y'all gotta do a roster building, and y'all gotta have a coach that put some good culture in there. Once y'all do that, then y'all can see the success. Like, you're not just gonna get it off of a one coach deal. I know y'all be ready to do that. Like,
AFC just
y'all
yet.
let
With
Brian
Houston trading away
like
Brandon
crazy
Cooks,
on
Stroud
roster. Y'all
does
gave him
not
that
have a
time.
proven WR1 to work with, and the Texans O-line is still a giant question mark outside of Laramie Tunsil. Anderson Jr., Jalen Petrie, Derek Stingley Jr., and free agent pickup Jimmy Ward round out a promising nucleus on defense, but the rest of the unit, linebacker in particular, leaves a lot to be desired. The Texans play in a division with the up-and-coming Jacksonville Jaguars, the always competitive Tennessee Titans, and an Indianapolis Colts team that could surprise many if Anthony Richardson comes as advertised. Look, give Houston 1 or 2 more painful years before they make the jump to playoff contention. 2023 will just be another year of growing pains and moral losses in H-Town. But again, the long-term outlook for this team is finally promising again. Chicago Bears. The Bears finished with football's worst record at 3.
Bears, I feel like that's a sleeper. That's a sleeper team right there. You got to get some love to the Bears. Man, they got a receiver like Jalen Hurts basically looked good after you brought him a receiver. And so did Josh Allen. They wasn't good until a receiver came in their life, and then that's when they made a splash. I feel like the same thing is going to happen with Justin Fields. And who knows? They might be competitive. They might inch out some wins like they have in a weak division. A weak division. I know it's like Kirk Cousins' division to lose, but it's just like it's still weak. Lions are coming up, but I'm just like, they ain't there yet. They can basically take advantage of it, man. Like the Packers, they just trying to fit in Jordan Love, even though I like how he is, man. 3 years into the system, I feel like, yeah, he gonna come up, but still, I ain't gonna say no chance for the Bears.
14 a year ago. Thanks, Lovie Smith, but there is way too much young talent in place here for them to be that bad again. Now, that does not mean that they'll make the playoffs, however. Justin Fields can only improve as a passer after recording over 1K rushing a year ago, especially with ex-Carolina Panthers star DJ Moore stepping in as the new WR1 here. Getting Tennessee offensive tackle Darnell Wright at the number 10 pick was beautiful and all that, but hey, what about
Are you interested in starting your own faceless YouTube automation channel, but all people do is tell you to go to Fiverr and Upwork and hire
About the rest of Chicago's woeful O-line. The front seven saw 3 new faces in Tremaine Edmonds, DeMarcus Walker, and TJ Edwards, who all arrived in free agency. Nice work there by the front office, but the Bears still have a long way to go here. Their defense was dead last in scoring a year ago, and it's gonna need time to gel. Fields will have to prove that he can actually win with his arm and not just his leg, and doing that is way easier said than done with this O-line. Aaron Rodgers may be gone, but the Bears remain the worst team in their division. They're miles behind the Minnesota Vikings and Detroit Lions. The Packers at least have enough experienced veterans to avoid the basement. You really can't say the same about the Bears. Honestly, Chicago fans should be happy if their team wins 6 or more games. This team is still a while away from realistically competing for a playoff berth. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers were lucky to play in football's worst division a year ago. Even
Yep, Tampa Bay. Yeah, that should be a guarantee. Tampa Bay, they going down. Baker Mayfield, he's not that guy. And I was like, have y'all seen the training camp stuff? It just looked terrible, okay? And college trash, yeah, they ain't gonna do nothing. I feel like they're gonna be the last place team they trash division. It's just like it's not possible for them. But hopefully Baker Mayfield prove me wrong. But do I feel like he will? No.
with the GOAT and Tom Brady captaining the offense, the Bucs barely limped out to an 8-9 finish and an NFC South Division title. The party was short-lived, however, with the Bucs getting thrashed by the Cowboys in the wildcard round. Brady subsequently announced his second retirement, leaving the Bucs in an awful situation heading into 2023. Sorry, but Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask ain't leading this team anywhere in 2023.
It's not how I drew my career up by any means. If I was to tell you how it would go based on the plan, I wouldn't have said that I put on 3 different uniforms in the year 2022, but that's how it happens.
The Bucs have way too many aging veterans that should have been traded for future assets, but instead, Tampa will try to make a run at the game's worst division, even though they have the worst QB situation among the 4 NFC South clubs. Aside from the QB issues, Tampa has a vulnerable front 7, a mediocre secondary, a leaky O-line, and a rush game that only finished dead last a year ago. The Brady era was short and sweet, but Bucs fans need to brace themselves for another period of mediocrity. At least they have a real shot at winning the Caleb Williams draft sweepstakes. Tennessee Titans. The Titans had the AFC South seemingly wrapped up with a 7-3 record through 10 games. Instead, they inexplicably collapsed and lost their final 7 games, including a winner-go-home game to...
Yeah, mainly due to injuries, and yeah, everybody just kept getting hurt. Brian Tannehill got hurt, and you had basically using Joshua Dobbs. And yeah, it seemed like they didn't want to believe in Malik Willis. You drive another quarterback to build up, and like, are you still using Ryan Tannehill? Who knows what they're doing at quarterback? I don't even know, but it's going to be an interesting quarterback battle for the preseason. I want to see, and maybe they might catch something, but I'm like, I would not count them out. They will get 9 wins at least, and I think that might be enough. Maybe win the division, because I don't know. Jacksonville Jaguars is still ready to take off.
To the rival Jaguars in Week 18. Tennessee could have commenced a rebuild by trading Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry in their contract years, but instead, they opted to stay the course and try to make another run with a weakened roster that lost Pro Bowl guard Taylor Lewan, pass rushing standout DeMarcus Walker, and lead receiver Robert Woods this offseason. Tannehill has hit his peak and cannot be asked to save the day again with Treylon Burks as his only impactful wideout. How much more can a 29-year-old Henry carry this offense? Look, the decline just should come any day now. The secondary is still a mess, and Jeffrey Simmons cannot be the only constant playmaker on the front 7. The Texans and Colts have their issues, no doubt, but those teams won't hand Tennessee a guaranteed 4 wins anymore. Consider the Jaguars a shoo-in to win the AFC South. You really think Tennessee will snag a wildcard spot over the many stacked and more rounded teams in the AFC? No chance. This is going to be a long year in Tennessee. Cleveland Browns. Rams. Now, this entry may surprise some given the amount of talent on the Browns roster, and as much as you may have enjoyed Deshaun Watson's lackluster play in year one with the Browns, his on-field production can only improve from here. Watson was rusty after being away from football for nearly 2 years, and he simply couldn't get the grasp of Kevin Stefanski's offense. Nonetheless, the Browns salvaged a 7-10 record despite an ugly 3-7 start. So, why are we giving the Browns zero chance of making the playoffs? Well, if they were in almost any other division, Stefanski's group wouldn't be on this list. The Browns simply are not going to compete with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals for AFC North supremacy. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens have had their way with the Browns.
Yeah, Lamar is gonna be hungry, man. I don't know. He's gonna put some pressure on the Bengals. Yeah, I'm like, everybody gotta keep up. We'll see which team can keep up with that. And yeah, I know Browns, they have the toughest part of dealing with that division. Like, I feel like they're gonna be the last man standing.
As well. The Pittsburgh Steelers are primed to break out in year 2 under Kenny Pickett. Even if Watson regains his star-like form, the Browns do not have the depth nor enough playmakers on D outside of Myles Garrett to do much of anything here. So, pencil them down for another losing season and a non-playoff berth. Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders went 6-11 a year ago with Derek Carr as their QB, with Josh Jacobs winning the rushing title, with Devontae Adams recording 1,516 receiving yards, which was a franchise single-season record. And now we're supposed to think that Jimmy Garoppolo, or whoever the hell starts at QB for the Raiders next year, will move the needle more than Carr? Yeah, newsflash, no. That is not happening. Adams won't be putting up those numbers again.
Yeah, I think that's a nice spot for Jimmy G. And having that face like that and going to Las Vegas, I don't know, man. I feel like he might be doing a little bit too much over there. But, yeah. It's just like you just dealing with a tough division. That's just why I believe that we got Raiders have no chance at all. But Jimmy G, game manager, this is what Josh McDaniels want. He want his system. He want his quarterback that he worked with a couple years. Even though Derek Carr is a better quarterback than Jimmy G. But you play different when it's comes to a quarterback with lesser talent. You just play smarter. You don't try to play fast. And that might help them to win. Who knows? But yeah, I think that's it.
Again, without Carr at QB and Jacobs, yeah, he is not repeating his career year. The Raiders didn't do much to address the many holes all over their defense, and laugh at the Denver Broncos 2022 failures all that you want, but they have nowhere to go but up with Sean Payton now calling the shots on offense. So, the Raiders will be the worst team in their division by a country mile, and potentially the worst team in the AFC. The good news is, if they end up being as bad as they look on paper, the Silver and Black will easily secure one of the top QB prospects in the 2024 draft. So, there's at least that. But what other NFL teams do you think have no chance at making the playoffs this year? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video,
alright, that's it for the video. Some teams I agree with, and some teams I disagree, but you gotta pick some teams out here, so we'll see. Like I'm clipping that Commander stuff because, bro, we going 12-5. Like we gonna beat the Cowboys. We'll beat the Eagles one time, and we're gonna beat the Giants. Okay, 5-1 division record. Let's go. Let's do this. Left hand up. Be great. Be good. G Swag. We are out. Peace. Also, man, if you want to catch more videos like this, man, subscribe to the page and then click on this Madden video that I did because I know y'all want to watch some good old football. Okay, click on the Madden video. All right. We out.